The legend of the flying Lambo scam known as Bitclout continues, ladies and gentlemen, and we're talking about it today. I've been doing some deep digging into the blockchain, and I found out who holds all the risk. Surprise, it's you. It's not the founders. It's not Tyler or Cameron Winkle twins, whatever their names are. It's you. I hope you're happy to know that, and it gets worse. There's some sketchy shenanigans that I think you should know about if you ever want to consider investing in this scam. Look, I think it's a good idea. A decentralized Twitter or something. That's basically what it is, like a poor man's Twitter right now. It's just the founders are greedy and trying to extract the maximum amount of money from you in the most kind of a cynical way possible. Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $10 Million Studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, and today, like I said, we're doing some deep diving into the blockchain. I never thought I'd be a blockchain explorer, but here we are. Bitclout, guys, you know it? Do you love it? I don't know. A lot of people like the idea, as I was saying earlier. It's supposed to be a decentralized Twitter. That's what it bills itself as. If you check it out, the front page, it looks very aspirational. It calls itself the crypto social network. But there are some incredibly important details that have been left out conveniently of the white paper that I'd like to tell you about today. Now, last time on our last video of Bitclout, the worst scam I've seen in a while, we talked about how they were stealing creators' identity, stealing their right to publicity to get some free money. And they've so far accumulated about $200 million in Bitcoin. No, I did not stutter, $200 million. And it's being seen and valued at $1 billion. And I'm just looking at this like... It's like a bad movie, right? It's like if it's this bad movie and all your friends are like trying to pretend it's good. It's like, no, that's bad. Except instead of like your friends pretending the movie's good because, you know, whatever, maybe they're hyped up about it. It's like the friends are pretending it's good because they got paid in advance to be incentivized that it's good. That's what's happening. All these guys that you think are fans of Bitclout have been prepaid to join in. That's what we're talking about today. See, there's something called the Genesis block we're going to talk about today. This is the pre-mine. This is what happens before you ever get access to it, before I ever get access. For investors and founders, they kind of give a little money off to the side. This is not totally atypical. A little bit frowned upon to take too much, though, because if you take a huge chunk of your currency up front, this is seen as a short-sighted move to extract maximum amounts of money. Now, previously, Diamond Hands, the creator of Bitclout, said there was a pre-mine of 2 million Bitcoin out of a total supply of something like 21 million Bitcoin, although he said because it doubles every million Bitclout, it's going to be a max of 19 million Bitclout. So there's a pre-mine of 2 million. That sounds reasonable, right? It's like it's a little over 10% for founders and investors. Well, turns out that wasn't exactly true. See, if you actually go to the Blockchain Explorer and go to blockchain block 0, what you actually find out is that this man was being a bit deceitful. See, the truth is the total pre-mine was actually 8 million Bitclout. That is equal to 42% of the total supply of Bitclout that will ever exist. Hey, it's been pre-mined, meaning you don't have access to it. Where did that money go? Where did it go? Well, it is true that 2.3 million went to the founders, but we don't know where the other 5.7 million Bitclout went. But quickly I realized this whole thing was set up to benefit everyone who were early investors and to screw over anyone who got in late, right? This is not a project that's built to last. This is a project that's built to benefit the people who got in early. So as part of the pre-mine, I ended up cross-referencing all the public, keys with Bitclout's Blockchain Explorer, whatever. It doesn't matter how I did it. Anyway, this is what we found. These are all the users who got Bitclout from the Genesis block, meaning they didn't do anything. They didn't pay for it. They just got it credited to their account. Now, if you notice, our big boy Chamath, at the current price of Bitclout, has $15 million credited. Some people attach their real names to it. Some people don't. The point is that these are the names that got publicly credited with Bitclout. But these names will come back later. Now, of course, this valuation is kind of silly right now because, of course, you can't get Bitclout over to Bitcoin. This is just theoretically how much money they have. So that's the first part of the scheme summarized. Investors got paid out huge sums of Bitclout, And a total of 42% of all existing Bitclout, that will ever exist, already has been minted, or pre-mined, if you will. Now, for this next part, I want to refer to our good old boy Gin and Juice here. Snoop Dogg. Should I claim my Bitclout? He asked on April 7th, and somebody responds, "Yee, bro, buys your Bitclout first, jump on the join clubhouse and I'll explain. Otherwise, everyone will benefit from your coin and pump the value." This is the stupid growth hack that Bitclout has put people in. Is people look at Bitclout, they go, whoa, I got huge sums of money. All these big celebrities, they say, hey, I have huge sums of money in Bitclout. I should go claim it. Look, it's free money, right? This is part of the scheme, because when Snoop Dogg goes to his profile, he sees that he has 41 coins worth $375,000. That's really interesting. Who doesn't want almost $500,000 for doing absolutely nothing? But the only problem is, where is this money coming from? Well, this is where a guy named Crypto Shiro comes in. He's done an incredible thread. I'll link it in the description below on this whole scheme, and it blew my mind. Bitclout is artificially pumping reserved creator profiles to make it look like they're really valuable in order for legit creators to come in, thereby endorsing Bitclout. To get Bitclout, you have to tweet about it. So you have to endorse Bitclout. That gets your followers to think Bitclout is a legitimate endeavor that they should go put their money in. By the way, you can't get your money out, which then sort of legitimizes the whole project. So how are they artificially pumping these things? Well, on March 11th, they started sending Bitclout to all the profiles that were reserved, not like the investors, right? And they had the profiles automatically buy up their own coin. See, if you notice, Snoop Dogg already holds his own coin despite not having joined the platform at all, not having set a founder reward, nothing. So how did this happen? Well, they were sent Bitclout by these two Genesis public keys, okay? Remember, the Genesis block, there were, I think, 482 Genesis keys that were given these 8 million Bitclout that no one knows where they are, who they're to, etc. Now, one profile named Master specifically his job was basically to send Bitclout to these starter profiles, these profiles they stole, pump up the value artificially so that these creators think to themselves, maybe I should go claim that. Now remember, in the Genesis block, Master got 100,000 Bitclout, so that's how he did it. Now, when Snoop Dogg goes on his profile, he thinks that there's legitimate interest in his profile, when in reality, this is minted pre-mined coins that are essentially worthless, right? They're not worth anything. It cost absolutely $0 to make them. Now, this gets more insidious when you look at profiles even bigger, like Justin Bieber, one of the biggest profiles on Bitclout. Now, Bitclout would get a lot of credibility by him joining, right? So rather than go about this the official way and, prove that their company's valuable and prove that they have real legitimacy, well, first, what do? Well, they pre-give Justin Bieber a bunch of coins so his valuation just gets pumped up. They just throw 40 coins at a creator just so they pump up his value right away. Then they have people like Fallows invest 13 coins. He's from the Genesis block, and he's one of the main holders of Justin Bieber coin. Guess who else is? Happy Penguin. Happy Penguin is also one of the Genesis block guys. With Elon Musk, it's the same story. It's a bunch of anonymous accounts. I wonder who those could be. I wonder if they're the hundreds of anonymous accounts who haven't moved their Genesis block. You also have the Talent Fund, who incidentally, right there. One of the other largest holders is Arts. Is Arts one of the guys? Oh, why, yes. He's one of the top 10 most rewarded Bitclout holders, right? The Genesis block. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means when people like Snoop Dogg are asking, should I claim my Bitclout? And people say, well, yeah, it's free money. It's really not. It's just invented money that they pre-mined, pumped up your valuation, gave you a bunch of fake coins that they also, I guess, pre-mined. I guess the whole thing is to pressure you to join. They're just throwing away money. Now, you might say, well, I don't know, it's a growth hack strategy, whatever. But there's an important problem. This lures in legitimate investors who think these crazy valuations are due to actual demand, who will then throw real money after fake money. This is the whole beautiful thing about crypto. Back in the day when people launched a company, guess who took the risk? The founder. The founder didn't cash out till an IPO. There's some kind of an exit event. But until then, they're taking all the risk. Crypto, some of these projects have managed to figure out how to put all the risk on you. the guy, Diamond Hands, or Nader Theory as we think he is, does he take a loss, the creator? No, he walks away with a $200 million bag after failing. What happens to your money? Because you're expected to buy in with real Bitcoin. So even if it fails, you take the loss, not the founders, right? And the point is, they're no worse for the wear. Yeah, maybe you lost some money, but did they? So let's just try to run back a brief conclusion of this whole platform, this whole social media experiment that says it's just coins and code. Remember from the white paper, guys, last episode? It's just coins and code. Here's how it worked. They got a bunch of famous people who are kind of known in the investing crypto space. I don't know how they got them involved. I don't know how much these people knew ahead of time. Full disclosure, they could have had no idea what was going on. They could have had a lot of idea. Okay. But they go, hey, you want to be involved in this thing? We'll give you a huge chunk of the currency. And we'll pre-mine 42% of it. We're not going to tell anybody what we're going to do with that. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take all the popular creators on Twitter. We're going to steal their identity, upload them to our platform, preload them with a bunch of fake money. And we're going to artificially set their creator value at like this huge inflated price. So that when these people go look, they go, wow, this is a big platform with a lot of creators. By the way, a lot of the Genesis mining guys, you tell them, hey, why don't you go invest some of that? Invest some of that in the creators before anyone else has access. So they get access to all the top creators before you do, thereby running up the price. Now, this is all before you ever see anything. Then you get introduced to the thing by saying, wow, guys, hey, look, Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, the Winkle twins, they're involved, guys. Who's ever heard of them losing out on anything? Let's all dive into that. Not knowing their way to make money is this thing being valuable. Meanwhile, journalists are writing articles about how a mysterious influencer stock market is worth $1 billion. I don't know, a month after launch? Really? $1 billion? That's what you think this thing's worth? I think it's worth the exact amount the last idiot puts into it. But even apart from the scam, think about what if it actually works? What if they actually become the next Twitter, as they say they want to be? I mean, right? Like they want to be the crypto social network. Do you know the insane fees that are going to be charged per tweet? Because as you know, you have to pay fees for all this stuff, right? When you tweet or I don't know what they call it. You have to pay. And as the price of these fees goes up, what do you think the regular people who are supposed to make up the main body of this thing are going to do? Do you think you're going to want to pay $1 to tweet? I don't think so. Now, I think the final future of this project can be best summarized by this guy named Chamath. He talks about growing a business too fast and how it leads to destruction.
So here's my little theory about company value creation. The faster you build it, that is the half-life. It will get destroyed in the same amount of time. And so when you think about a lot of like social businesses, that's played out. And when you see sort of like the top, so like, does it take 8, 9, 10 years to build a really great consumer business? It'll take 8, 9, 10, 12 years to destroy it. And we may see the tipping point on a couple of these businesses. Right now, we may be seeing it in front of our eyes.
Well said, Chamath. It took about a month and a half, 2 months. Bitclout exploded into a $1 billion business seemingly overnight. I wonder how long it'll take for this thing to collapse. No matter what all the people who are profiting off this site want to tell you, this is not going to be the future of Twitter. People are not going to want to pay Bitclout to go tweet. And you'll be knowing the full time that basically you gave the bag to people who already have the bag. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, honestly, you almost have to admire the architecture of this whole thing. It's built perfectly to capitalize on people's FOMO and greed. But will it work in the long run? I don't think so. I think this team has demonstrated a pattern of lies and deception and what people are saying is genius marketing, which just basically amounts to breaking publicity, like right to publicity laws. Yeah, breaking the law. Cool strat, guys. Let's see how that works out for you. Anyways, that's my follow-up. Hope you enjoyed. Nobody's covering this thing, dude. I can't imagine why. All right, well, that's it. See you guys next time.
I know what you mean. This ain't what it seemed. Nothing but a trick, trying to sell me on a dream, but that was where you lost me. Wake up and smell the coffee.